CHICKEN. Use the code chicken in the shop. CHICKEN. Use the code chicken.
Guys, it's time to clash with chicken. Oh, this is actually the wrong overlay, but let's head over back to Boom Beach. But if you guys do want to see any Clash Quest, Clash Mini, Clash Heroes stuff, make sure you subscribe to the channel that is Clash with Chicken. So what we got going on today, guys, we are going to go over your Season 23 starting guide. We're going to give you all the good tips and tricks that you need to get started. But first, what we have to do is we got to save the day here. We got an operation. Oh, there's actually 2 bases left, but let's take a look at one of these and see if we can finish it out for the troops here. That one's too much gunboat energy. Actually, is it? I don't know. Let's see. This might be a massive fail. So we're gonna go over these tips, and if you guys do find these help you out, I do appreciate it if you use the code chicken in the shop if you're gonna pick up instant training for this season or anything else like that. Hopefully it's not going to be as necessary to compete as it was last season, but we don't know just yet. So hang on to your horses. And yeah, so the first thing, guys, some of these are going to repeat myself on, some of them are going to be updated. The first most important thing is to simply have a plan going into the season. And whether that is from watching sneak peeks, if it's from staying in tune with the community, or just having your own plan based on, you know, if you're in the Discord server, for example, you've seen the tech tree. Yeah, just have kind of an idea of what you're going to do, because there's nothing worse that you could do for your season than simply just, well, there goes the attack. Maybe not. There's nothing worse you could do for your season than just simply not planning and then just kind of starting the season and like opening up what you think is going to be good. Typically, that's a good way to, you know, that's a good way to fail and kind of land on your face. We want to avoid doing that if we can. Now, the next tip is going to be, you know, you got to play patiently too. I mean, you can't just skip ahead and be like, oh, this is going to be the best strategy. And, you know, we try as best we can to get that good information out to you at the beginning of the season. But it's never, you know, really, it's never perfect to be able to say, like, this is going to be the exact path. Like, we got to kind of wait and see how the how the meta is going to develop in you know, in real time. So it's good to have a plan. It's good to be like, okay, you know, I'm going for heavies off the start, or I'm going for vampire Zukas off the start, or whatever. That's what I'm going to open with. That's what I'm going to push with right away. And go from there. But, you know, watch your replays, things like that. That's what's going to help you out the most. And yeah, Crab's not here just yet. It is here now by the time this has been posted. But yeah, all right. So the next point is to push right away. Earlier the better. Now this is always important because the season starts off at 4 to 4 chests, as we all know. So you know, the most important thing with that is just to get your chest timer going quickly. So as soon as you unlock a chest, and when you're 4 to 4, the next one starts counting. But if you stay at 4 to 4, your chest won't continue to populate. So you're gonna have to open one first before that timer starts. And the later you do that, means the later you're gonna get your chests all season. So try to do that as quickly as you can. Yeah, that's gonna be huge. I mean, you can still, it's not like you have to, they're going to spread out here like crazy. It's not like that's going to mean you're either going to have a good or bad season, per se, but it's definitely something important that I would try to do if it's possible for you guys. So, yeah, being able to push right away, the earlier the better. You know, the less time you spend at 4 to 4 chests not collecting your next one, you know, that is going to make a difference in your overall tech for the entire season. So try to take advantage of that. Yeah, and, you know, kind of further to that, kind of like suit your tech tree to your play style. So there's 2 different ways that we kind of can go about warships, and it's either, if we look at the tech tree, oh, we got gear herd. If we look at the tech tree and it's like, okay, I got seekers right after 3 engines, for example, and there's no shock launchers, no shock mines, and there's like a lot of troop damage and troop health, and there's not a lot of building health. Hopefully that never happens, but just for the sake of the example, it's like, okay, you know, getting to the seekers and bypassing everything else is probably going to be a pretty good option, right? That's probably going to put you ahead. Now you can do that if you have the keys to get there. For this example, I said it's right after 3. Maybe we'll say it's right after 4. That probably makes more sense. So then it's like you're skipping mines, you're skipping heavies, you're skipping flares, you're skipping all the good stuff just so you can get to those seekers really early because you know they're going to be really good and you know nobody's going to be able to defend against them. So that's what we call tech riding. Tech riding versus base riding is like base riding is like playing it safe and kind of grabbing the stuff that you know is going to be good, the stuff that's good every season, that doesn't really set you back. Like say if you get like unlocking mines, for example, maxing those out, things like that. Even if it's not the best thing, even if it's not going to put you in the same group as the guys that were able to get critters on day 1, or sorry, seekers, it's still, it's still going to, you're probably not going to fall back that much, or you just might not be able to push up to the levels that those guys were able to push to, right? So it's kind of a trade-off, but it's usually a pretty good trade-off. All right, we're going to go ahead and we're going to shock right here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Come on, Zukas. 5. Boom! There it is. Wow. The chicken. Move over, Zedmod. There's a new All-Zuka Pro. Kidding. I'm not that good with Zukas. Okay, so what else do we got here? Tech riding, base riding. Your defense. It's always important to change up your base pretty frequently. I would go as much to say, in a short season, I would change it up every day. Now we don't know what this season is going to be just yet, but typically the shorter. This is a strange base, isn't it? What is he defending so hard against? Hammerman, I guess. Still a weird one. Look at all the loot that this guy has. Look at that. That's with 7 resource reward statues. That's almost $1 million a pop. Well, it's over $500,000 a pop. It's almost $1 million gold, which is pretty cool. All right, let's go like this. Yeah, where were we? Yeah, changing your base layout frequently. So make sure that you change it pretty well every day at the start, and then from there on, you want to be changing it, kind of as needed, I guess. But typically, what we do is we change the base every single day, more or less, and that's helpful. If you're using the same base all the time, like if you go a week without changing it, that's almost always going to be a bad idea. I could have spaced those smokes up better. Let's go up here. I think Brick's going to die. I'm not sure. Try to get the Zooks to eat those boom mines for. They might not. Actually, Brick can take 1 boom mine, I think, so. Okay, now what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to do like a critter shock and then a med kit, because I think that's all that we need. I'm used to those warship gunboat energy launches where it's like, going all over the like across the world. So, yeah. As you unlock stuff on the tech tree, it's important to understand what's going to be effective, what we call effective tech. So as you unlock certain things, some things are going to propel you forwards, some things are simply not. Now you can do this just by, just by playing and seeing what works and what doesn't. Typically that's what we have to do anyways, because sometimes you think something's going to be really good. Say you get a nice new prototype, for example. That's like, oh, I got 2 grapplers now, like my base is going to crush. And sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. So you got to mess around with it a little bit. But the biggest thing is just to stop. If you're losing, just stop. Readdress, maybe wait. Playing at chess times is huge. Typically everyone that's competitive in Warships, they know that if they're, if they're struggling, if they're losing a lot, they're going to change a few things, maybe change their base, obviously try to unlock something that's going to be effective, and then push to test it at the next chest time, because that's when everyone is typically playing, because they're going for their chest. Your chest unlock at the same time. For most people that started the season, it's not going to be different chest time, so it's always a good time to push is during the test time, because that's when people are testing things. That's when they're seeing if something works or it doesn't work, and just kind of playing in general just to push for chests, even if it's not an effective time to push. The guys that play a lot in between chests, they're grinding. They've got something that's working for them and they're winning a little bit. Because typically if you're losing a lot, you're not going to keep going. Unless you're like chicken and enjoy like banging your head against the wall sometimes. Yeah, that's basically it. That's basically it. So knowing when to park would be the last thing that I would add. And, you know, the best way to do that is just be tuned into YouTube, Discord, Telegram, the community in general, whatever you prefer. You know, people typically have a pretty good idea. I actually made a whole video on this a few days ago, if you just look back in one of the... Because I did park last season, so I talked about what goes into that and how to watch the stars and the leaderboard and all that stuff. But, guys, I hope that helps you out. If it did, make sure to subscribe to the channel because we have Season 23 just on the horizon. Some exciting stuff coming up this weekend. Make sure you guys are tuned in. I hope you enjoy. As always, thank you so much for watching. That is going to wrap it up for the video today. Make sure to leave a like if you found it interesting, entertaining, or informative. And we'll see you next one. Guys, check it out. Back.